Welcome to Discover Indie Film. I'm Jeff Howard, and I have Rene Veronica Freeman with me on Zoom. Hey, Rene.
Hey, Jeff.
All right. Excellent to talk to you. Everyone listening, this is a 4 questions podcast, which means Rene will be answering. I'll just list them out right in the beginning.
Okay.
It's name 3 films that you love, name an underrated film, an overrated film, and a lesser known film for people to seek out. But before Rene answers any of these, I'm just going to mention that you should listen to the podcast before this one because it's a wonderful interview with Rene, and we get to know you. I got to know you much better that way, and people learn more about you and your work. You are on this podcast because you co-wrote, co-produced, lead actor of the film Chromatography, which was at Filmvasion Los Angeles. We did the world premiere at Filmvasion Los Angeles in June of 2025. And you took home the Filmmakers Award for Outstanding Cast Performance in a sci-fi film. That went to you and your co-star, Falami Williams. So congrats.
Thank you.
We got a killer jury of alumni who are active filmmakers, and they recognize talent, which is always fun. It's always fun. So, and there will be a bunch of clickable links in the show notes of this podcast so that you can follow Rene's social media and check out some of the work you've done. So that is, hopefully now they'll go listen to the other one too after they hear this. But now we can just slide right into your answers for these 4 questions. Obviously, it's just a fun way to talk about movies, and I will never let go of the idea that once you know somebody's favorite movies, you know a lot more about them.
No pressure. Okay.
No pressure.
This is an impossible question to answer. You know that. So
it's unfair, but
so rude. So rude, Jeff.
Well, you can name more. You can name more. I always joke that I'm not wearing a black and white. I don't have a whistle and a black and white striped shirt. So, when I say name 3 favorites, it's just, 3 films that you happen to love. It doesn't have to be the best 3 of all time. I always love when someone throws in something there that they consider like a guilty pleasure.
Yeah.
But it's funny. Question 4, it was a real debate. Should it be lesser known to seek out or guilty pleasure? But I feel like lesser known to seek out is like a better tip for people who are looking for a great movie to watch that they never heard of.
Yeah. So the 3, favorites. When you said from your childhood, like a way to answer that, I was like, that's brilliant. Because actually, immediately what came to me, Disney's Fantasia. Okay, now I think actually that was probably my introduction into love of fantasy and like sort of like weird witchy world and like brooms coming to life and like, just like mystical magic. I freaking love like sci-fi, magic, witches, fantasy. And actually now that I think about that, I think that's where that came from. So I'm going to say Disney's Fantasia, animated film. Go back and watch it. And it's like kind of creepy, kind of amazing.
I mean, there's dark,
scary.
and it's an anthology of shorts, really.
Yes.
And it's purely creative. It's so
purely creative, and just like it takes your mind to another universe. So
right, and these amazing artists and writers but mostly artists whose main job was obviously going to become to just retell all the fairy tales.
Yeah.
In that one, creativity unleashed.
Creativity just unleashed. So props to you giving me that tip, because actually, that kind of like was like, wow, that was the origin story for me. And then I wrote this next one down. Okay. The Father, Anthony Hopkins, Olivia Colman, director Florian Zeller. It was a 2020 film. I believe he actually won the best actor for that role. And, when you talk about storytelling and like structuring a film from the editing perspective, and also just like, it's all in his mind, and you see these scenes are shifting and you don't know like if this is real or if this is his imagination. And then it's also tackling Alzheimer's and memory loss and family and love and identity. And those are all topics that I just really am, into. And his performance, I mean, I have not boohooed like a baby in many, many years until I saw that film. I was actually watching it in preparation for another film that I'm working on with Vaughn, coming up in 2026. And oh my God. So if you guys, obviously, Sir Anthony Hopkins is a sir for a reason. So we all know, this is the man. But if you wanna see a film that's really well written, well acted, edited, and just like beautifully human, watch The Father. Amazing.
And
Um,
I gotta jump in. Are you drawn to
Jump in.
unreliable narrators? Because I think creative
Yes.
people are, right? When the person when the right, because you said like sometimes you don't know if it's real or not. And I gotta love an unreliable narrator.
I love an unreliable narrator. I love something that's super complex and like just like you gotta kind of have to put the puzzle pieces together and then also, his perspective of everyone in his life and how they shift and change and like it's just so good. Oh my God, it's so good. So watch The Father. And then okay, I don't actually like horror movies. I don't like scary movies. Ever since I was a kid, the Leprechaun always freaked me out, and I just have never been able to like go to bed without having to check underneath my bed. So I say this, but this one is a body horror. It's The Substance, actually. Demi Moore, director Coralie Fargiat, I believe. I don't know how. I think she's French, but how you pronounce her name. But The Substance in 2024. It's super smart. It's a body horror that is also like a social commentary film, and it is super, super gruesome. If it's really kind of disgusting and gross, but amazing at the same time. But my favorite part about that movie is the way that they film sensation. Like when they zoom into the crunching of things and like the oozing of things and just like also even like the fit like the younger version of Demi's character, and you see her like doing the twerking and stuff, but like the shots are just really beautiful and just like slow mo, and like you kind of really get sensation in a way that I haven't seen a film like that in a long time. And I just love how they shot sensation. So I thought that was really interesting about that movie. That's one of my favorite things. And also Dennis Quaid's performance in it was so fun. I feel like he was waiting for something to kind of make big. We were talking about like, stage performance and like and film performance, and he sort of brought a wonderful like overtly wild and big character to the screen in a way that was super juicy and fun, and he was disgusting and just unscrupulous, and
And kind
it
of
was
daring
great.
too, right? Like a daering performance, like
It was a
really
very
leaned into
daring
it and like
performance.
could have
So
was well aware that some people might just skewer him for it and just
oh,
willing to do it.
100%. But I think he knew the world that they were in. He knew what kind of story they were telling and the tone. And I think that he went no holds bar, and I was living for that. I've never seen him like that, and I love to be surprised by by actors. So amazing. Watch The Substance. I think it's super smart too, and you kind of walk away with like, with something as what
I loved it. I'm with you. I loved it. And it really is making an amazing point about aging and beauty standards
yeah.
and what society does to women.
Yeah.
And obviously
And it can apply to men as
as a
well.
oh
The
yeah,
pressures
yeah.
of the
Very
pressures of
much so.
presenting in the world and like getting the things you want and like what you have to be and become in order to do those things, and like do you have to sacrifice, and those are all really great questions to ask. And
Yeah.
so yeah, I love that
Yeah.
film.
And it presents that to us in a way where we are constantly entertained by the situation.
Yeah,
And yeah, you nailed it too, that the way it was directed, you feel you feel
yeah,
the physical presence.
the physical presence and sensations,
Yeah,
it was really interesting. I just loved it.
I'm with you. I'm with you. All right. Well, question number two is a film you feel is underrated.
Oh, I don't know if I have an answer for that one.
We can skip it. We're
Underrated.
free. We're free to skip it. You can even add a fourth favorite and then skip underrated. It's
Let's
no
go to
rating.
the next. Let's go to the next one. Let me see if I can think
All right,
about
the
an
next
underrated
one,
film.
the next one, and you're such a nice person, I might give you my sometimes, not often, but sometimes I give the warning or no, the disclaimer that when I say name a film you feel is overrated, it's actually not an insult. It doesn't mean you could say this film is fantastic, but it won X awards, and I actually think that that person's work that they did earlier was better, or the work they did later is better, and it didn't get acknowledged. So overrated isn't necessarily throwing shade, is all I mean.
I'm gonna throw shade. I did not get
Throw
Honora.
some shade. Okay, excellent.
I did not get it. I didn't get Honora. I didn't understand. I mean, I thought her performance was. I'm not even talking about her performance, but the film, the whole thing. Like, how many times are you gonna do, the prostitute story? Like, how many times you gonna still? I mean, didn't he do that in the Florida Project? I don't know. I just, yeah, Honora for me, like, I didn't feel it. I don't know. I didn't even feel anything when I just want to feel something. And I just was like, okay, so you are not going to marry him and you're not going to be a hoe anymore. I don't know what. No, I'm sorry. Wait, she wasn't a hoe. Wait, was she a hoe? No, she was just a stripper. Was she a sex worker? I shouldn't say hoe. Was she a sex
You
worker?
are feel free to say any you can describe it anyway. I will confess that I still haven't seen it because
Don't
I have to
bother.
watch so many
It's nothing
submissions for the
new.
festival. And I have to admit, here I am, the guy whose podcast asked for an overrated film. And I could probably tell you that I have a hard time thinking of a Best Picture Oscar winner that isn't overrated. It's very,
Oh,
very
yeah.
rarely is it the right choice in my heart
For that year, yeah, and the contenders, yeah, yeah.
because I
Yeah.
just think the motivations,
Yeah.
uh, yeah,
Of
it's a
that whole
tough one.
machine, it's a whole different, yeah.
It is,
So
and I think them expanding the list to 9 to 10 films is why something like Anora wins because all these other ones split the votes, and
right.
it's a very, but yeah, but I got to see it someday just to know.
Eh.
I know sometimes. Excellent, excellent, love it,
Oh.
love it. All right, well, the last one, unless you thought of an underrated real quick, but no
No,
need,
I haven't thought of
no need. All
it.
right. We'll just pretend that we'll say maybe I'm just gonna I won't. I was gonna make a silly case that Fantasia is underrated because it should
Of
pop
the
up on
Disney
more.
canon?
It should. I feel like it should be seen as like the masterpiece from that studio, that classic Disney animation studio,
You
because it
know,
is the masterpiece.
you know, you are spot on. You are spot on. That's pretty good. Yeah. When you think of the whole Disney canon of animated films, you do not really think of Fantasia, but truly what you said is actually correct. You are
Yeah, I
right.
mean, right? Everyone credits Snow White as being like the
Right.
first, and then blah blah blah,
Disney
and
princesses and all the Beauty and the Beasts of the
I
world and the Ariels
mean,
of mermaids of the world and but yeah, yeah.
and I'm the person who's like, I hate the whole fairy tale thing. I don't know,
Yeah.
I cannot. I'm so tired of the dead parents, and the I just find them to be thoroughly shallow, and there's a lot of problems with them. Oh, and anyway,
Yeah. Okay. Those are overrated. The dead parents are overrated.
oh my God. Well, and don't get me started on the fact that I've been a stepdad to someone for 13 of her 18 years,
Okay.
and and the way step parents are portrayed in that world is
The
very
stereotype
medieval.
is,
It's
you
very
know, yeah, my the mother who raised me is not my biological mother, and she is, as far as I'm concerned, my mother. And like she's the mother who put everything on the line for me. And when I introduce her, I certainly do not say stepmother. That doesn't even enter my mind. So I 100% hear you on that one. Shout out to all the step parents out there who are just like, just taking the love and giving it all to their children regardless of whether they were biological or not. Woo-hoo-hoo.
Absolutely. Absolutely. All right. I will not distract from your list. I'll let you do that last one, which is a lesser known for people to seek out.
Okay, there's a movie, and I'm giving like some recent ones here. So this one is called She Taught Love. It's on, I think you can watch it on Netflix. It's a romance, I would say, a romantic dramedy. Not dramedy, a romantic drama. It's by director Nate Edwards, and it's some newcomers. Her name is Arsema Thomas, and she's playing opposite Daryl Britt Gibson, who has kind of Lakeith Stanfield vibes. Like he's real cool. Like everything is just cool. But it's a beautiful romance about a young woman who has a meet cute with this man, and he's an actor coming up in LA, and he's sort of like trying to find his way and find himself and pursue his dream. And she is, I think she's a like a sports agent, but she's at a crossroads because she's sick. And so she's facing her last days of life. And she falls in love at this inopportune time when she's dying. And he's kind of dying too. He's dying in his old identity, in his old self. And so they're meeting and challenging each other, and she's teaching him what it is to have love and to love. And I just haven't seen a romance in a while that really captures like this like wistfulness and this like it's not cheesy. It's just poetic. And it's beautifully shot, and it feels like a balm to your soul when you watch it. And their chemistry is really beautiful. And it's y'all go check it out. It's a really nice film. It just makes you feel good. It just makes you feel good. And it has an ending that is satisfying, but it's not cliche. So that's always good for romances.
That's huge. In fact, you are reminding me, I'm always aware. I mean, I loved rom-coms growing up and I loved love
Yeah.
stories. And the love story,
Yeah.
Hollywood is full of people who are, I think the scientific term is they're chicken shit. And and as soon as Me Too hit, they got chicken shit about love stories and
Yeah.
stories that involve men and women coming together in romantic ways. And there has been a dearth of
There
films
has
about
been.
falling in love. There really have
And
been.
we've forgotten how to do it. And I feel like Nate Edwards really kind of brought us back to it almost felt like what's the movie with Robert Redford and Barbara Streisand? The Way We Were.
So,
It had that feeling
yeah.
of The Way We Were, just like it kind of swept you away, but it was just like it was like this poetic feeling when you watch it. But this one is like in a modern day, and that at that time it was also a modern love story at that time, The Way We Were. So I mean, obviously now that's a classic. So and maybe even an underrated one. But anyway,
And
so
actually,
yeah,
that film doesn't get the credit it
it
deserves
doesn't, it doesn't. And the
because
soundtrack,
people don't, and they don't acknowledge in at the time, I believe it was very controversial that a waspy blonde dude would get with a Jewish woman like
with a
that.
Jewish woman.
But
Yep.
that was something else at the time.
And by the way, one of the most beautiful songs Barbara Streisand ever, that the title track, "The Way We Were," I think also it was a hit in the Grammys and all. They won a bunch of awards or whatever. But I mean, yeah, I mean, it brought me back to that film, and I just remember the way that I felt when I listened to that music, and it kind of, yeah, it took me back. So y'all check out "She Taught Love" by director Nate Edwards.
I think I'm going to throw that on my list very soon because that's my cup of tea.
Especially
You
for the
gotta love
holiday
it.
season. I know it'll be, in 2026 when y'all watch, but yeah.
Yeah, yeah, and it's lesser known, and it's probably it deserves the attention. There
Yeah,
you go.
up and coming,
Oh,
up and coming.
I pulled it up on IMDb, and I see that it was written by one of the stars, Daryl Britt Gibson.
Yeah. Yeah. So talk about people just, writing what they know, writing their stories and just putting it out. And it resonated with me, truly. And I think you guys would like it as well.
Wonderful. All right. Excellent place to wrap up. All right. And I will wrap up efficiently. Thank you, Renee. Thank you for
Thank
the
you.
wonderful list. And for reminding me, I really got to watch The Father. I actually didn't watch The Father because I went through that with a parent.
You probably will boohoo
Dementia.
cry.
Oh yeah, no, I I haven't used this word yet, but I cry like a motherfucker. One of the jokes on our jury is like, if you make Jeff cry, he's gonna fight to get the film into the festival because I just
Okay,
you know,
noted for my next one.
I love when movies just touch us.
Yeah, yeah. It's, I think I know as I've gotten older, I've become more cynical, and I think I can admit to say that. So it's rare when I really find something that just really touches me. And The Father is one of those films that truly you feel like you're watching someone and not even necessarily around specifically the subject matter, but just Anthony Hopkins' performance. I mean, truly, there's a reason why he is one of the greats. And if you want just an acting lesson, watch The Father, just for the acting lesson. And Olivia Colman, forget about it. I mean, she's brilliant in everything she does.
Yeah, I mean, in your interview, I remember you talked about playing. You referred to your co-star Falami Williams as you played ping pong.
Yeah,
Anthony Hopkins is the greatest.
ping pong player.
I have to throw in that I'm always amazed to see that person on screen.
Yeah.
But the two popes that Anthony Hopkins did with Jonathan Pryce,
I
where
haven't seen that yet. I gotta watch it.
it's 2 hours of two of the greatest British actors who ever lived playing off
Okay.
each other.
Okay, I'm
And
gonna watch that before.
it is, you just watch it and you just keep saying to yourself, I don't know what Anthony Hopkins is doing, and Jonathan Pryce for that matter, but this is not normal. This is acting at a level that I can't grasp.
Yeah,
And
100%.
and I'm sure he was able to do the same thing with Olivia Colman, who is amazing in everything she does.
Brilliant. Yeah. I mean, truly, like, I just love when you get to just sit down and be a student and just like take it in and just, you know, these performances are, gosh, they're few and far between. I mean, with just the amount of media that we have available to us, to really see these performances is truly like just a great gift. And that's kind of what inspires us all to keep striving to be better and to kind of enter our way towards that kind of greatness, which you can never really attain, but you can try and strive to. So yeah.
Absolutely. All right. Well, I will wrap it up. So, everyone, go to the show notes, click the links that'll take you to Renee's work. I promise you it's well worth it. And then also down there, you'll see that the website for this podcast is discoverindiefilm.com. The social media is always at DIFwins. And if you change that .com to .org, that is discoverindiefilm.org. That is the website for the foundation that runs 2 film festivals in the, I say foundation because it's a nonprofit. It runs the Sherman Oaks Film Festival and Film Invasion Los Angeles. Thankfully, I get to talk to people from Europe and Canada, and they talk about getting government funds for their indie films. And it breaks my heart that our country doesn't support the arts in the same way. But at least our country allows film festivals to be charities for the arts so that we can try to support your work with a little help. So anyway, go to discoverindiefilm.org to learn more about the Sherman Oaks Film Festival and Film Invasion Los Angeles. They're basically they are twin sisters. They are the same team, same philosophy, even the same motto, the festivals that give a shit. It's just that they're 6 months apart so that I can try to have a life. and we have to because we couldn't pick a name when we were starting. I was arguing for Sherman Oaks and others. So anyway, we just separated them to see which name did better. And they both grew on their own. And to finally add that not under the same umbrella because it's not based in this country, but they have a cousin in South America named Film Invasion Lima in Lima, Peru, that launched its first very nice Film Invasion Los Angeles and Sherman Oaks Film Festival both celebrated their 10th year in 2025. And now in 2026, Film Invasion Lima has been birthed. And it was awesome, although it hasn't happened yet when we're recording. But it's happened now that we're released. This podcast came out, and I can tell you it was great. Great movies, great fun.
Amazing.
And beautiful theater there in the colonial section of Lima, Peru, the Spanish Quarter of Lima. It's actually where all the architecture is Spain. And I know it's a little complicated that the Spanish Empire sort of colonized South America, and it's not the prettiest of stories, but boy, it is beautiful when you're walking around a city and all of a sudden you're like in Valencia, Spain, all of a sudden with all the architecture. Like, wow, this is beautiful. But
Wow.
yeah. Okay. Thank you, Renee.
Thank you, Jeff.
And thank you, everyone, for listening.